of my most core memories was I was about 10 years old, and I had moved to about 5 different schools at that point, moved to 6 different cities, was moving around a lot, and that was like the 5th move or so by then. And my mom told me that this was the last time we were going to move and that she would keep me where we were and I didn't have to worry about starting over again. And we didn't after that.
One of my most meaningful memories, oh my gosh. Probably when I went to this like rock climbing festival for people of color out of state in the South with my older brother. I look back to that so fondly. It was so magical and it was like a good bonding experience with him. The place that the campground that we're staying at, it was just like this beautiful like sandstone boulder field with like all this moss growing on it, and it was like a super unique type of rock.
Okay, I would say a core memory would be when I met my partner that I currently have. I guess I met him at a protest back in, I think, 2007, when there was an escalation of troops going to Iraq, you know, and he just took photographs, and I didn't know him at the time. And then much later on, I actually saw him on the internet on a dating app. This guy I had seen in real life. I wanted to meet somebody locally, and I was living in Kent, Ohio at the time. And then he came over to visit me a couple of times, and he did yoga, and I was really into yoga. And I knew he wasn't like a typical Ohio guy into football and sports and motorcycles. And he was really artistic. And he came, and I had a weaving. My mom had passed away, and I had a weaving that she had given me of the Zia symbol, which is like a Native American symbol for happiness. And I was still distrustful of this guy, because I just thought, I know he's from California, and he's very artistic and articulate, and very different from any kind of guy I had ever met before. And I looked at him, and he came to my house for the first time, and he kept staring at this weaving that my mother had given me of this Native American symbol for happiness. And I go, why is he looking at this so long, you know? And then he unbuckles his buttons, I should say unbuttons his shirt, and he showed me he had this tattoo. And we're not really into tattoos at all, but I thought, wow, my mom approves. And I just kind of knew he was the right connection for me. And we've been together 18 years. So I could say it's pretty phenomenal. And I recently had a really scary health problem, and he was there for me. And I feel very, very fortunate.
I'm just going to tell you about my earliest memory that I can remember, because that would be very core, I think. And so I was probably about 2 years old, and I remember running across the street and my mom being very frantic, and me feeling just absolute freedom and joy in being across the street and just running away laughing. And that's probably my earliest memory. I mean, at this age, I've been on my own for a long time from my parents, you know, so I don't know why I have that memory. I think you remember things that are emotional. A lot of them are sad, and that one was a happy one. I mean, but freedom is a beautiful thing.
A core memory I have is a road trip that I would do a lot with my dad throughout high school, or I guess during COVID high school. We would go road tripping up to Lake County, and on our trip, we would stop at this place called Blue Lake and go swimming, and there was this like rope that you could swing into the lake with, and yeah, it's just something that really, I don't know, showed me what it was like to connect with my dad in this simple way.
Okay, so one of my core memories from being a child is that we didn't have enough food in the house. So when we got food, we also didn't have a lot of supervision. So like one of my core memories is being, I don't know, 8 or 9 years old and finding ground beef and trying to cook that myself, but not being old enough to know how to do it. And so it ended up being, like when I tried to cook it, it ended up being mostly raw, and I was eating it anyway, and I got really sick. That's a core memory from like childhood trauma.
Riding a horse bareback for the first time. It was like the most like alive, like just fully present, like the first alive, fully present moment I had like as a kid. Like that was like full of like just pure ecstatic bliss and joy. Like that was like the first time I realized like in my little kid brain that like that much joy was actually possible and achievable by something as simple as like, I was not meaning to like run off like galloping on it. It just did. It like the horse just took me, and I was just like, okay. And that was like the best like understanding of how to like just surrender and like go with life and like let the bliss kind of like carry you.
I mean, some of my core memories are with my kids, and just spending time with my kids on a weekly basis. Every Thursday I took them to dinner, and spent a lot of dad time with them, and raising them is just one of the more magical things in my life.
Oh geez. Impactful core memory. I mean, there's so many. To be honest, I mean, the first thing that comes to mind, my mom passed away when I was 25. She was diagnosed with cancer, and within 6 months, we didn't even know she was sick, and then all of a sudden 6 months later she passed. And that's been a huge impact on my family, and I have 2 older sisters, and it's been a journey. Yeah, it's really changed all of our lives. So many good things have come out of it, but then just so many challenges, and yeah, I don't know, it's brought me closer to God. It took me away from Him, but then it brought me closer to Him, and made me grateful for a lot of the little things, and just kind of made me question who I am on this planet. You know, like just start having that existential crisis, and but yeah, it's probably been the most impactful.